Are you a Mesa fan? Of course you are. That's why you're here. I just made Mesa even deadlier when she presses 4. What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with a Mesa build you can just simply enjoy. Before we get started on what the build is, let's go over one of the main things that people always struggle when it comes to making Mesa stronger: Archon Shards. Which Archon Shard is better when it comes to Crimson Shards? Crit or Strength? Red Archon Shards give you Strength, Crit, and Duration. These are the important ones. A regular red shard gives you 25% crit chance and 37.5 on the Tauforged variant, and also 10 to 15% strength and duration. Strength influences Mesa's 4th ability's damage output, even more than modding for base damage on the Regulators, meaning that the damage multiplier you get from adding strength on Mesa will stack additively with mods like Hornet Strike. So if you have enough strength, let's say around 200%, which is a 3 times damage boost, this is where you would remove base damage mods on Mesa's Regulators for another multiplier. A max set of regular crit shards is 125% crit chance. Place that alongside Pistol Gambit on Regulators will give you 103% crit chance and 106% with Creeping Bullseye. And you don't want Creeping Bullseye on Mesa because of that nasty fire rate loss. Now with 5 red Tauforged Shards, this will give you 187.5% crit chance. That's just a Prime Pistol Gambit right there. This crit chance with Prime Pistol Gambit will get you 118% crit chance, noticeable on a higher fire rate Mesa, as you will see some oranges. Hitting an additional crit tier does increase your damage output. This is where you can add Arcane Avenger to the build for both crit setups to get your crit chance to 148% with regular shards and 165% with Tauforge, which is a way better damage boost. But now, even though this is good, you need to have 200 plus strength on Mesa, which can be easily achieved. But this is where things get interesting, because if you have 5 crit Tau shards, you can actually remove Pistol Gambit from your build to then add more fire rates. So that's Anemic Agility and Gunslinger, giving you 162% fire rate, and you pair this up with Arcane Velocity, well, that's 3.82 times your fire rates, which is disgusting, but that is an option. So now that leaves us with another big question. If my main arcanes are going to be both Arcane Avenger with a flat 45% crit chance when I take damage, and Velocity for the 120% fire rate on my secondaries whenever I crit, what is going to be my source of energy income? And how am I going to proc Arcane Avenger consistently? For energy, I will be using Nourish. This gives me a viral elemental damage multiplier on all of my weapons, while also giving me an energy income multiplier, increasing how much energy I get from all sources, allowing us to forego Arcane Energize. And finally, a viral retaliation when I take damage. This sends out a burst of damage, stunning enemies for a brief moment, while also proccing viral onto them. And my Mesa also has range paired with her second ability, which stuns enemies. So, how am I going to take damage for Avenger? Well, that's easy. You don't have to physically get hit. Just use the aura Combat Discipline. Killing enemies damages your health and heals allies, and the damage you take from Combat Discipline triggers Avenger and the viral retaliation from Nourish. That's 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, that begs the question, which Archon Shard loadout did I go for? Well, I don't have a lot of red Tauforged Shards, so I did go for an interesting route. I have 4 red crit shards, 2 of them regular and 2 of them Tauforged, to give me 125%, which is the equivalent of 5 regular crit shards. And that leaves me with 1 slot left. And this is where I added 1 strength shard. This will make a lot of sense when I get to the build. So let's take a look at the build. With a base of 110 strength, pair that up with Blind Rage, I get 209% strength. That is a 3.14 times damage multiplier on my Regulators. In the aura, I have Combat Discipline. I lose 10 health on kill, and this is what damages me to proc Arcane Avenger for that flat 45% crit chance. Range at 175% with Stretch and Augur Reach. This increases my explosion radius, Unnourished, Nourish to 21 meters, and Shooting Gallery has a stun radius of 28 meters. Duration at 183% with Primed Continuity and Constitution. These two duration mods are here to upkeep my buffs on Nourish and Shooting Gallery, most importantly. And the increase in duration does lower my energy per second drain from Peacemakers, from 15 all the way to 12.7. This is even with negative efficiency. Prime Flow and Equilibrium for the large energy pool and energy to health orb pickup conversion. Rolling Guard for that 3 seconds of invulnerability and status cleansing. Using my Panzer Volpophyla, modded with the synth set mods to pick up health orbs to convert it to energy, and energy into health, so it's a perfect synergistic loadout. Taking a look at the Regulators build. With the 4 crit shards and Prime Pistol Gambit, I get a 103% crit chance. Pair this up with the Arcane Avenger, that's 148% crit. That's 48% chance to hit orange crits. And Mesa fires so fast that you're going to be seeing orange crits quite consistently. As you can see, I have raw corrosive damage. Building for DOT is not a great idea on Mesa because she doesn't have good status chance. She's all about raw damage and firing your guns really fast. Multi-shot with Galvanized Diffusion and Lethal Torrent. Lethal Torrent also gives me 60% fire rate. And Anemic Agility is a must. It is a huge DPS increase, allowing Mesa to hit that crazy fire rate that she needs. And now you may notice I don't have any base damage mods because I have enough strength to remove base damage from the Regulators. And this is where I can put a faction mod to multiply all of the damage I deal. This is also a big DPS increase. However, for regular star chart missions, you don't really need the faction mod, so you can put additional fire rates. And not only that, she is locked to a melee weapon, and this is the Furax. Doesn't matter what version of the Furax, you just need to have a Furax because you're going to mod it with Amalgam Furax body counts. This adds an additional 45% fire rate on all of your secondary weapons, and Mesa's Regulators are secondaries, so it's a free fire rate boost, and the focus school can be whatever you want. Casting speed and strength with Madarai, or Zenric that gives you strength and energy over time, and increases the amount of energy you get when you pick up orbs. And for utility weapons, you can use whatever you want. Afantis can be used, but you don't even notice the fire rate increase. So I suggest use something else for other utility bonuses. Otherwise, that is the Mesa loadout. It is the most freeing Mesa build I've ever had. I just go out there, press a button, and everything dies. I don't need to stack any other buffs. No need for Molt Augmented, nothing else. And I decided to opt out from using Muzzle Flash because you already have Nourish and Shooting Gallery with a decent amount of range. Muzzle Flash will just slow down enemy spawns at this point. So you're better off to have the range to stun enemies with Nourish and Shooting Gallery. Anyway, folks, that has been it from this video. If you enjoyed and learned something from it, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.